3, 2, 1, talk to me.
Okay.
2, 4, 6, 3, 6, 9, Jack, Queen, King. That's a sequence. And hitting has a sequence too.
Okay.
Talk to me.
My goal for this video is to make the hitting swing super simple with an easy sequence. In the last video, I explained my hitting approach that I had when I played. In this video, I'm gonna go through how I think about mechanics. And mechanics being the be-all, end-all conversation on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I wanted to create a video that was less drill-based and more of an approach-based when you come into a cage. First, we need to talk about the setup and how we are going to approach this plate and also using this tee, because a lot of players don't necessarily know how to use the tee to their advantage. Typically, what we see is not this setup, but more of that setup. It's gotten a little bit better over the years. I've actually seen more players use the plate majority of the time rather than not, but this gets really confusing because there is a massive open space here that we have to work with, and it could get a little confusing on where we actually stand. So we need to actually use this thing. Well, first off, this is set up for middle tee. And me personally, I like the tee just slightly out in front of home plate. And the reason for that is I want to get my barrel acceleration out in front of me, not behind me. But that's all great. But where do we actually stand? And I gave you kind of a hint. We want to be on this back corner. We want our front foot to be lined up with that back corner of home plate. And the reason we want to be lined up with this back corner of home plate is because when we stride, we want to be slightly behind or even with this tee. I don't want to be out here because that leads us to the next point.
Okay.
Talk to me.
Is this. If I am a right-handed hitter, that is my inside pitch. That is my middle pitch, and that is my outside pitch. Those are my contact points, and then there's balls that line up in between those ones. So it's a straight line all the way across, a diagonal line all the way across. Because I want to catch that ball out in front on my inside pitch, I want to catch that slightly out in front on my middle pitch, and I want to catch that a little bit behind my front hip on that outside pitch. What a lot of guys do, which is a huge problem, is that they try to catch that outside pitch super deep back in here, which is a huge problem because that is going to lead me foul. So what should I do? I should catch that more out in front of me. So then when we line up, here's my front foot, here's my stride, boom, that is slightly even or behind my front hip.
Okay.
Talk to me.
Okay, I'm gonna explain this into 3 parts. You have 3 parts in your swing. You have the load and stride, you have heel plant, which is launch position, and then you have the swing itself. That's it. Super simple. Load and stride, heel plant, swing. What does it look like? The load and stride is pretty simple. Everyone knows what the load and stride is. It's very easy to explain. But a lot of people don't realize the load and stride is really not part of your swing. It is the preparation of you being able to swing the bat as hard as you possibly can. So, the load and stride is me going backwards as me picking up this front foot. So I'm going to actually be striding forwards after my load. So I'm here, I'm in my stance, I load, I pick up and then I come back down. Or if you're a heel plant guy, pick up, put it back down. If you're a toe tap guy, pick up, go backwards, then come back down. But what the problem with the load and stride that a lot of people get wrong is that they think that it is part of their swing. So they go extremely fast. But a load and stride is not that. A load and stride is really you getting prepared to swing the baseball bat. So it has to be slow, it has to be deliberate, and it has to be on time. Which leads us to our stride foot. The stride foot, when it comes down, has to come down to where you're at a position, an athletic position. What is an athletic position? My knees are slightly past my shoulder width, and my shoulders are stacked with my hips. So my hips aren't swaying on one way or the other way. That's literally a 50-50 split. I tell players I'd rather have a 60-40 split because we want to have that backside as we go through our swing. But that is a different topic altogether, and I will get to that in a different video. But for this video, we have to explain where our launch position is and what a heel plant is.
Okay.
Up, down. Up, down. Up, down. Down, up.
Okay.
Good job, you did it. You did a heel plant. Sorry, that was my Miss Rachel impression. My 2-year-old would enjoy seeing that as we watch this edited video. But anyways, the heel plant is literally what it's called. You literally plant your heel. It's not my toes in the air and I have my foot on the ground, which means that my front foot is planted. No, your heel has to be planted into the ground for you to complete the load and stride, which then leads us to phase number 2, or sequence, the second part of the sequence, where we're in our launch position. So why is it important for our heel to be completely on the ground, where it's not just the toe and then we start going? We want our completion with that front foot because it allows us to generate power. Analogy that I like to use is, you imagine that you are a Lamborghini, and if you're wanting to go as fast as you possibly can, would you rather be on a cement road or a gravel road? Obviously a cement road, because you're able to get the traction that you need with the rubber of your tires. So it's the same concept with your feet. You want your feet to be completely on the ground before you make a forward move with your swing towards the ball, because it allows you to generate power from the ground. You're using the ground to your advantage. So when you have that heel planted into the ground, the barrel's gonna be able to go through the zone a lot faster. So when we get to this point in our swing, well, it's not our swing, but we'll get our pre-movement out of our load and stride, and then we land in a good athletic, strong position, we're gonna be able to generate power from our backside, which is what we want. This is gonna allow us to get that barrel through the zone. Now let's be completely realistic here. Will your swing dramatically improve? I don't know, but it gives you a better plan, a better approach, and it helps you wrap your head around what you're actually trying to do when you swing. I feel like a lot of players, when they come into the cage and they want to improve their swing, they really have no plan, no guide whatsoever. No, I wouldn't say guide, but map of how to actually fix their swing. And when you break down your swing into 3 simple steps, it becomes a lot easier. Like, oh, today I'm going to work on my load and stride, or today I'm going to work on my launch position, or 3, I'm going to work on my actual swing, try to get my hands more inside the baseball. I'm going to try to make my swing more tighter and more compact. I'm going to work through the follow through to get my barrel longer through the zone out in front of it. I mean, it helps you break down everything. So in that 30 minutes or to an hour, you are in a lot better position to actually make good fixes, rather than just, all right, I'm gonna have the tee in a random spot on the floor, and then I'm gonna take a little bit of front toss and then a little bit of BP. You're taking more of a professional approach.
Okay.
Guys, that's this video. Thank you for joining me. I can't wait to get to this next one. I'm probably gonna do something on the swing. I think it's time for that. So, catch you next time.
Okay.
Talk to me.